Yespixel, episode 27 with our guest, Blunt _ 20. This week's episode is brought to you by the concept of joy. Now, if you've ever felt joy, be sure to hit the subscribe button, okay? Because, listen, we're bringing you extra joy on top. Joy sprinkles. You get your joy vapes, okay? All right, we got your injectable joys, okay? We got all kinds of joys. Every joy you might need.
We don't offer any of that. We only offer the concept of it. Okay?
Wait, I thought we could do joy paraphernalia.
No, can't do injectable joy. In fact, I'm pretty sure our contract says, let me read it. Yeah, can't do injectable anything, unfortunately.
All right, I'll edit that out. That's my bad.
Really, it's against our
bad. Okay, so we'll just do
oh my god,
frickin' joy.
Oh jeez, Hydra, you're really gonna get us into some hot water here.
We're gonna have to take the other sponsor now. And you know how evil that corporation is.
Yeah, they are. Oof, man, we are done for.
Yeah.
You know what?
It's gonna be pissed.
What the hell? Ladies and gentlemen, hello, welcome everybody.
It feels like a long time since the last episode.
It does. Well, it feels like a really long time for me.
Yeah, because you slept 3 times in that period.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, we don't need to talk about that. I'd rather talk about our guest today.
We have a guest? Who?
Well, hello. Yeah. Hello.
Oh, how's it going, Blunt?
Who are you guys?
Hey.
Tell us about your who do you play on the server? Who are you? Who are you? How did you get here?
Oh man, how did I get here? Wait.
Oh. One second. Before you get into it, icebreaker, what's your favorite drink?
Ooh.
I guess.
Alcoholic or non-alcoholic? What are we talking about?
Alcoholic.
Okay.
Oh, alcoholic. I'm gonna be honest, man. I would do a double Grey Goose on the rocks with some lime. That's my go-to.
How is it not?
So explain to me why you have Corona up there. What the hell is wrong?
Well, you can't see the whole thing,
Where's
but it's
your
actually a
Grey Goose poster?
It's a MotoGP picture with Coronas on the side, but it's like a humongous corner piece that I get to look at. So
get 2 or half.
Corona's not bad. I'll drink some Coronas. I love.
Corona is just a lime injecting software. It's just there to have the flavor of lime.
It's true.
There goes the freaking Corona sponsor, man.
Yeah, Anorak. I thought we.
Yeah, we were going to the Anorak. Arctic Sea.
Oh, the Arctic Sea. Yeah.
So I play Dub Blunt. He is your typical Liberty City gangster roots, mobster family, the cliche, but also really kind of adapted to the, fashion industry, the high end, looking sharp. But of course we didn't start that way. We kind of started off meddling with the drug game, the gun game. He kind of really started with kind of being a getaway driver, moved to kind of harder stuff, gotten into the drug game pretty heavily, which kind of helped support financially for the dream of owning the big companies, the nice high-end fashion, which is kind of like where we're at today. And then it also somehow kind of accumulated a gang amongst all of that. Was meant to kind of be more of a, undercover criminal organization, but, it became loud essentially once, probably like really when the gang app came around. It's like when it started getting loud.
Really hard to be undercover with any criminal activities these days,
especially when you have to log into an app to do crime.
Yeah. Oh man, the little man's been giving Eugene shit about that.
That's so funny.
Because he's been introducing them to like newer weird crime that we don't do, like non-RP crime.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, you need the gang app. You need to be a gang, and we're like, we are a gang. You need the app. We all sit him down. We look at him like, why would we need an app to be able to rob a bank, Eugene? You're not making any sense.
Yeah,
that's cool though. I gotta ask.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to come up with the character name? Because it seems to me that was like.
Like I asked my high school nephew, what's a good name for a character? I mean, I'll be honest, Blunt, so I got into role play, God, I'd say about 8 years ago. But I knew that, I pretty much took the time to go to servers and take it seriously for a while before I ever tried Nopixel. I wanted to make sure if I was coming in Nopixel, I knew my shit. I was really, this guy.
Yeah, I broke him. I'm sorry. I don't want that to come off as offensive. I mean,
it's not. No, I mean,
obviously, it's a character named Dub Blunt. You've probably heard every iteration of that, right? But
I mean, let's be honest. Is it the most out there name in the server?
No. I'll balance it out. I'll balance it out by saying, only within the last week did I realize that Christopher Yee's character Ka-Chow, who, by the way, he's the Cars 3 meme guy. Ka-Chow, Cars. It took me until I saw his CVPI license plate, which is I am Speed, to realize that it's all part of the Cars meme.
I don't actually know. Can you explain the Ka-Chow? How does it tie in?
Well, what's his face? Lightning McQueen from the show. His catchphrase is Ka-Chow, right? And then his mantra is I am Speed, right? So once I saw his license plate, I realized it's from Cars, and I was like, wait, Ka-Chow, that's also from Cars. And then I finally made the connection. I was like, wait, Christopher Yee is the Cars 3 guy from the interview
from that meme.
From the interview with
is that actually Christopher Yee?
That's him. That's the guy. Yeah. And I finally it all connected in my brain. And I had this So that's to balance it out that I'm actually a Moran. So
I'm double the Moran crushed. I barely get it still. Sorry.
Somebody said flashes headlights, and then you can do because he's got the little lightning flash. He does the little shine it off the side of the car. So anyway, it's not important. Not important.
Blunt, can I talk to you for real quick? Be real with you about something that has happened consistently with your character, and I really wanted to bring it up with you in this spot. Your character, every time we've interacted, has always been willing to roleplay, extend roleplay, and you've been willing to take some pretty severe L's. You put yourself in position to take pretty big L's just to keep a chuckle going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
John Hydra's been a firefighter, and every time I've been a firefighter, I've run into Dub Blunt somehow, and what was it you said to him last time? You're like, I'm your personal little arsonist. Yeah, and I was like, don't do that. Don't do that. So I'm certain that one of these days I'm going to get on Firefighter, and I'm just going to see a bunch of fires start spreading around the city, and I'm going to immediately call Dub and be like, are you fucking doing this, you scumbag?
Well, that's the beauty of, having a fire department. You have to have players that are willing to create that, because there is no natural fires at building fire, stuff like that. So I love that. I appreciate that. So if there's anything I can do to help, bring that out or facilitate it, whatever.
You're definitely going to go to prison for arson. I hope you know that. You're definitely going to go to prison for...
I don't have it, so we're going to...
Metagaming.
Oh, God.
Is arson a 9th charge?
No. No, it's a felony.
Unless you're doing arson that gets multiple people killed, then you can get the what's his name decree. I can't remember. It's serial killer shit. Coop's Law. You can get Coop's Law.
Law enforcer.
Oh yeah. But yeah. So just don't perma multiple characters in arsons over time, and you should be fine.
Okay. Well, you never know where the fire blows. But
now, if people wanted to metagame you and make a bunch of one-lifers and follow you around and run into the fire, that's a totally different story. But seriously, to circle back, I've never experienced, I've never seen you mauled. I've never seen you do anything but be very in character, and very willing to extend RP to people, even if they're not doing a very good job of doing it to you. You always find a way to circle it back around and kind of make a lot of weirdness go away sometimes, and make it just role play. And it feels really natural with the way you do it. Your guy really genuinely does feel like one of the true gangsters the way that he acts, the way that he behaves, the way that he talks. You really like sink into the character really well. And it's really nice to see. A lot of people, play gangsters in different ways and gang members. But your guy feels like a genuine like gangster, like you said, like straight out of Liberty City. It's really nice to see. So I just want to say thanks for all the nice interactions.
Wow. Well, thank you, man.
What do you do to like stay in that headspace when you're role playing? How do you maintain the? I don't think I've ever heard you go like even make like you. I don't even ever think I've heard you make like an OOC joke. You like do a very good job of staying in character.
Try really hard to keep things. I'll even try to like rename topics that are OOC, whatever it may be. I'm throwing a different letter in there, twist it a little bit. But I mean, honestly, just having that third person camera looking at him, you just feel like you're in there. Like, you're that guy. He speaks everything about him from head to toe, says, crime mafia looking, mobster kind of dude. So when it comes to those situations, plus it's not my real voice, right? So I'm using an accent. I'm not, I'm not me at that point. So I guess it's just kind of like naturally. And then over time, sometimes I catch myself even talking like him. Sometimes I'm like, I gotta, I don't say that word like that, but.
Are you reverse self-inserting yourself? Are you becoming your character?
I'm becoming. Yes. He's what I would have done had I took the wrong road in life, No, but
at least he has style, so it would be the word. True. But I like, especially interacting with your guys' characters. You guys are so good at bouncing things back and the reciprocation and the freestyle and the flow. It's like, how do we not at that point? It's like, how do we all not break character? You know what I mean? It's all so good in terms of like the banter is so on point. The quips, it's the timing. You guys, like the interactions I've had with Carmine, he's also, East Coast and, Blunt and him.
I don't know. I just want to make a confession. I have no idea where Carmine's from.
Oh, okay. Well, he's kind of got that gritty Joe Pesci kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of vibe.
That's who he's based off of.
Oh, that's
you guys
awesome.
haven't noticed yet, have you? Nobody's noticed.
No, I don't think so. No, I think they're too busy molding every time Carmine's in the same room as them.
No. That's not what You haven't noticed?
Notice what?
You got new headphones.
No.
Ooh. You talking about this right here?
Look at my eyes.
You're turning it on and off. Oh no! How did you get it going?
Don't I look crazy?
It's weird.
I look weird as shit, and nobody.
I thought you were just being very attentive.
Right.
Yeah, I thought you were just looking at me a
Some
lot.
Adderall or something,
I look.
Wait, turn it on.
Fucking free. It looks so weird.
Just leave it on.
Oh,
I'm not even looking at the
perfect.
screen right now.
Just leave it on. It's so good.
It looks fucking weird.
For those of you who are listening, I told the Chains about the NVIDIA eye contact thing that they have now, which like forces your camera to overlay eyes on your face. That makes it look like you're staring into the camera, and it's really good, but it's also really creepy.
Mm-hmm.
You should have just left it on the whole time, 52, and see if anybody noticed.
It twitches. That bothers
me. Okay. So
he's fast.
When you made dub initially on Nopixel, well, let's back up a little bit.
Okay.
How did you find out about Nopixel? When did you get whitelisted? Talk to me about that whole process. Did you get in on your first application? How many apps did you take to get in?
So,
question we ask everybody. We like to hear it. We want to know the building blocks that led to who you are now.
Okay. To go way back, I was a GTA 5 online player like crazy. I sunk so many hours into it. Love GTA as a franchise.
How much money did you spend on shark cards?
None. I was a grinder. I was a disgusting grinder. Got it all without a dollar to the Rockstar shark card. Nice. I made it a point. I was against it. I was like, fuck that. I'm gonna do it. A lot of time. That's why. So then basically that kind of evolved into, there was like groups that people would meet up on like Xbox something, like looking for groups or something, and people would do like little car meets. So you go into a server, online lobby, and everybody bring their cars and blah blah blah. And then I kind of started seeing little mods of like drift servers, stuff like that, different 5M kind of things, and then that kind of snowballed into streamers and Nopixel. I think the very, very, very first streamer I ever followed was Herona, and I want to say that was back in like, it had to be like 2016 or something like that, somewhere around then, maybe even a little further. Could be wrong, but anyways, and then yeah, so then when we got into 5M and got a computer finally, I was a console gamer for years and years and years. I was like, I want to play that. That looks like those people, you know, they know how to really get down, play characters, and it looked fun.
Mhm.
And then we, but I was like, I didn't want to go in and be the rookie. Like, how do I give you money? How do I give you my phone number? I don't want to be that guy. So I was like, all right, we'll play some other servers and get used to the whole thing. And then, back then he was Blunt, DAH Blunt. Because I was gonna do like Blunt, you know what I mean? And yeah, exactly. But then so I was like, that kind of sounds a little stupid. So we did which was like, I don't know, I told people it was like German and Italian or something.
You're really invested in the Blunt name.
Well, it didn't seem like it was gonna go that way, but it did. Now, yeah, it is.
Did you were you streaming this? Did you develop a following with this character? Is that why you stick with it?
I did. Yeah. And there was gang ties in the past in other servers. We used to have our gang was all right. My names now are gonna seem really bad here out in public, but was the Money Mafia. And all white suits and Roosevelts. Yeah, I mean, it used to be Money Gang, and then it evolved when we moved to another server.
Money Gang.
It kind of flows. I like it.
And it was kind of funny because way back then it was like we tried to pick a color, and it was like we ended up going with black and gold, and then, you know, gold chains, anything we could do to kind of just look flashy, even if we were broke. It was like we just want to play the part. And then yeah, snowballed into Money Mafia, and it got real organized crime, and then yeah, like you said, kind of built a following that way. So it was like it just kind of felt natural to keep that character alive, and kind of evolve him even. And then Nopixel, we applied. Well, my buddy talked me into it. We unfortunately, I say unfortunately because looking back, we were playing on, I don't know if you guys know Subversion RP, if you've heard of that back in the day.
Never anything good.
SVRP.
Yeah, SVRP, yeah. So apparently it was kind of like all the outcasts or those who got banned from Nopixel kind of started up a server over there. And that was coming to an end, we noticed, we were feeling it, and my buddy's like, let's just sign up for Nopixel. Let's just try it. I was like, all right, fine. So I started the application in October, and I didn't actually submit my first app until March. So I left
I think it's pretty normal.
I left it open. Yeah, I left it open, and first app we did was the typical cliche Liberty City Blunt character. And they were like, yeah, we have thousands of these. Like, be more creative. I was like, yeah, all right. Good point. I will. Created another app of a character that I still would love to do, but we'll get there one day. And pretty much they were like, yeah, this is great. Just make a couple tweaks. And I think we got it on the third try. Nice. It got in. First day was March 31st. So of 2020. So
nice.
Just shortly after 3.0 launched.
God, was it that long ago that was 3.0?
Yeah.
Sometimes when I think about it, it still feels like the wipe just happened. It was only it was like a half a year ago. 2.0 was so long ago.
Yeah.
Man.
And now we might be going back to it, apparently. Which is cool, because I never got to experience 2.0 other than just, watching. So I think that'd be kind of neat.
It's going to be a little bit, I think, because they're testing. Right now they're testing the actual functionality of a lot of it. So they were asking for people to hop in and actually do testing.
Right on.
So close.
I don't know if it
should be interesting.
Classic. I don't know if it's the classic 2.0 server that they're gonna drop or the hardcore one, but they said they're gonna make one of them public, and then
I think that's the 2.0 one.
Yeah, I don't know. That's gonna be weird.
Yeah,
they're gonna invite people. Not everybody's gonna be able to play on it. They're gonna invite people, and then the rest of the slots are gonna be filled by by RNG.
So there's going to be some like whitelisted slots, and then there'll also be public slots. Is that how it's going to work?
Yeah,
Weird.
yeah.
You know what I'm really looking forward to? So, as somebody who got into Nopixel during the 2.0 boom, Moon Summit, when Vader and Space Boy were first just like really popping off.
Prune Gang.
Prune Gang, Prune Gang, Prune Gang.
Dude, I loved.
The bank mechanics, and I remember this specifically, like Polito and the Vault involved a lot of thermite. Like every single door was a thermite essentially. Like the gates, all of the like opening the. I think there was a couple drill things that you could use, but a lot of it was thermite.
It was the safety deposit boxes were the drills.
Right. And if you fricked it up, it would just set you on fire.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
And if fire would spread too. And so if you messed it up, sometimes the fire would spread and set the rest of your group on fire. I think that's going to be really funny because there's a lot of people already who bring like 3 or 4 laptops to their bank robbery just to make sure they can get it done right. Imagine you screw up a laptop and it blows up in your hands,
There's a clip of I think Alabaster Slim and OTT, and I think Alabaster fucks it up and OTT runs over to him, and then they both burn. It's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's funny.
Yeah. This is going to be
It's
easier
back
on
when he had
cops
his voice change on heavy. And
He was
he's
super
screaming
heavy
for-
on the auto tune. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, early OTT. Oh, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
early OT was so fun to watch.
You know what it
He-
is?
Cream Pie
He
Creations.
wasn't a hard character at that point
Yeah.
either. He was very vulnerable. And I think I really liked that about him. Was that he was still like budding, right?
Yeah, I feel like the reason like people like everybody's old characters or how the characters were back in the day, because back in the day most characters had flaws, right? Not every character was good at everything. They were good at OOC, and badasses, didn't take shit from nobody. They actually had character traits and flaws, and when you play a character for so long, you develop them, you keep developing them until they're as perfect as you can make them as an individual.
Mhm.
So if you're like very skilled as an FPS shoot player, your character might start off not as good, but then you'll eventually get to that point. Some people just speedrun it. In a day they're the best shooter.
Right.
Mm.
But I feel like if you look at like Eugene, OTT, Mel, like a lot of the characters on the server, even Mr. K, back in the day, they were more comedic and had flaws, if that makes sense. And I hear people say a lot that they miss the old this person or the old that person, and usually it's because of that one differential where the character develops into a point where they're not as flawed, if that makes sense.
It
Mhm.
does. But you have to evolve your characters, right? Like it just makes sense,
gotta
unless
kill
it's just
'em.
meant. Yeah, yeah. Or then.
I think
If you're
you bring up
gonna
a good point,
develop
though.
them, if you're gonna develop them, eventually just kill them. If they
Yeah.
achieved everything you wanted for them to achieve, either kill them or reset. Get it
Right.
like what Buddha does. But 2.0, like his character got to a certain point where he just decided to come back and start from scratch, broke, and work his way back up. Cause
Did he though?
Yeah,
Did
near
he?
the end,
Because
he
he
did
got the
that.
Roosters rest real early.
Yeah,
I feel
that's-
like he got an entire business for like
yeah,
pennies.
no, I'm talking about the tail end of 2.0. 3.0, I didn't keep up with too much, but I remember at the tail end of 2.0, he was broke. He had nothing. Eastside Boulders took the street from him. His everyone in his crew were doing their own thing, and he was aimless. And the only one I think he had was like Speedy and shit.
Yeah.
It was interesting to watch.
2.0 was a different time. I do like what you're saying about like characters having flaws though, and I almost feel like that's where like good role play comes into it, where you've done what you've done for so long. Eventually, you're just going to become so good at it. But by like role playing in actual flaws, right? I think is really fun. Like, not to toot my own horn, but on the Littlemans, we always play gullible. Like, if someone gives us a scenario in which they're trying to like confuse us, we'll get confused. We won't even roll for it. We'll just be confused, right?
Right. Yeah, like a cop
What's
can
that over
call you
there?
guys from an unknown number and say, "Hey, I need a cab ride. I'm here at MRPD
Right.
at the front. Ignore all the lights and spike strips out front. That's just a event they're doing." And you're like, "Oh,
yeah,
all
and
right."
we'll literally drive over the spike strips. He said, "Ignore them." I don't we were just doing what we're supposed to. Yeah,
That's
it's
so
kind of
good.
like hey, what's that over there? And then you turn and you look, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you look for long enough that whatever they're doing can get done.
My favorite is when somebody says, "What's that over there?" I specifically look through my eyes and turn around so you have that weird posture so they know you're not looking. That's my favorite. I've been finding, I don't know why, but I've been finding like looking through my eyes. First person has been really like enjoyable recently.
Mm-hmm.
It's like being in the server in first person. It's been quite nice. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes when you're just going, your character's got to run quite a distance. Sometimes they'll just like do that, go through the eyes, and it's a nice view.
Oh, so you're a power gamer? Okay,
Is it?
we got ourselves a power gamer.
Is it?
Do you, I know you swim
I only
faster.
look through my eyes to run upstairs and to swim.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
guys,
The juke
Because
tasers, yes.
it's faster.
I know looking through your eyes makes you swim faster. Does it make you run faster? Or is it just
I
the
didn't know
stairs?
It's just
Some
slopes, I
animations
think,
will
right?
make you run faster. It'll
Really?
make you run faster upstairs and downstairs.
You know, one thing I do that's powerful is I aim
Power
down my
gaming.
gun when I'm climbing stairs because I don't want to fall to my death.
Mhm.
Yep.
How many times have you fallen to your death on the stairs? That's like your
How many-
strategy.
Right.
He's hit
It's been
peach
clipped.
level.
There's track records. They've all been clipped. So I'll never
Dude,
forget it.
somebody so slowly over the last like 30 days or so, I've been slowly reducing the level of scar on John Hydra's face, and somebody noticed it without me saying anything. They're like, "Oh my god, John, like your face is like healing." And I was like, "Yeah, it's probably never gonna get back to normal." They were like, "No, you don't understand, you're healing. Nobody heals." They have a scar forever. I was like, "Huh? What are you talking about?"
That's +1 though. That's awesome.
It was good.
That
Yeah,
is-
it was
yeah.
nice to get +1. It felt good. It was
Yeah.
nice.
How did Max get his scar? Like he's had
Somebody
like,
threw
How
hot
did you
water
get
at him.
Those scars.
Literally, someone threw hot water at him.
and now he's got it forever.
Yes.
I thought it got blown up.
No. Hot water.
Pretty sure it got blown up.
He had a tea incident.
You want to know how Max got these scars?
Oi, bruv, I know how we got these scars in it.
I am the Joker, baby.
Oh my god, dude.
I
Oh,
was Kasim G's been on the server the last little while.
yeah, he's
and
funny.
dude, he's
dude.
funny.
He's very funny.
He was doing that with his buddy outside Alta Street recently. We rolled up and I was talking to him as Moosebeard because I ended up arresting him. His first house robbery we arrested him for. Then we interrogated him and it was funny because he's like the interview guy. So we were doing like a job interview interrogation,
Mm-hmm.
see if they were fit for the PD. Yeah,
That's so
it
funny.
was good. Him and his buddy were doing the Joker impressions and they were both just terrible.
I don't know if I said this last week or not. I don't remember if it happened yet, but John Hydra got his bar license.
What?
Yeah, that was fun.
So
It's
you
funny.
can mix alcohol now?
Yeah, he's a barologist now.
Mixologist, dude.
Nice.
But
Nice.
that was fun. And then
Difficult?
you basically just have to like go to court things and not be an absolute idiot. I kind of showed him, like I was around and I was like trailing people a lot. I think they wanted me to succeed.
Yeah.
Because he was a cadet when he got fired. So there was some question as to the legality of his bar license, because all cops have bar licenses in the server, right?
Mm.
Because they're allowed to prosecute for their own crimes. So my argument for him was, well, if he as a cadet could prosecute in a bench trial by himself, that's representative of having a bar license. Otherwise, you couldn't do it, right?
Right.
And they're like, well, this has never happened before. Usually when people stop being cops, they either disappear forever or become criminals immediately. They're like, so how about you just be a legal aid for a while and we'll see. And he did, and they're like, after a couple weeks, they were like, yeah, great, good job. Here's your bar license. I thought they were bringing me in and telling me that I wasn't getting it, honestly. I was like, well, hey, listen, I was telling chat, I was like, hey, we tried, it was fun. We'll figure out another avenue. It's all good. And then they were like, John, this is not good. And the moment they said that, I was like, oh, these motherfuckers.
Wait, I've got a question. Which was it? Does a judge have to give you your bar license? Which one was it?
It was Bill Mays.
Yeah, you got lucky. Bill Mays is a good one, man. He enables a role play. I feel like he'd fucking give me a bar license.
You have one. You're a cop.
I'm not like if I played a character, a different. I feel like he'd give me just for shits and giggles.
Dude, Bill Mays and Titus Schwinghammer have been doing such good work. Did you guys hear about the?
They really have.
Did you guys hear about the Lord Josta, who plays Bill Mays? He had some money troubles, and the community really came together to fucking help his kids out and let him still be on the server, which sucks. And I'm mad about it because if he had to get off the server and stop being a judge, John Hydra, his first runner-up, could have been judge. I shouldn't have donated to that fucking charity. Man. Fuck.
This charity that benefited these people and made their lives better really made my life worse.
You know what they say, right?
I don't stand for that. I'm taking a stand. Those kids should have went without hockey gear.
Yeah.
Screw them, or lacrosse gear.
Whatever.
Those nice stupid kids. Come out last. Get a job, kids. Come on.
Braid some mop strings together and tie them to the end of a broom. You'll be fine.
Oh my god.
Some coat hanger wire and a little bit of grit.
I'm TMing.
Some elbow grease and pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Okay, well, so before Hydra gets himself canceled, I'd actually like to ask Blunt. Blunt, you've been working real hard on the server lately, and it shows. I know for a while you'd been putting together the Sasante Nova. I don't even know if I'm saying that properly. Sasante Nova. Sasante Nove.
Santi Sonta Nova.
The salty Santies.
The salty Santies. Wait, what?
69, right?
It's Italian for 69.
Is it a GTA lore thing?
It is. No. It's a vanilla GTA lore.
Yeah. I love that. Okay. I think that's why I like it the most.
And the funny thing is it was never planned. I literally, the day one outfit, I still have it. It's like Blunt with like a leather open jacket, chest showing, and I picked out the SN chain because I just thought it looked fucking super good, And then, and then Snowball. But yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I remember when you were the jewelry gang.
Yep.
Money gang. So with that, you've been working really hard behind the scenes to put together the. Hold on, let me get the SN. I'm not even gonna try this time. The SN magazine, which incorporates over 70 pages of notoriety people of notoriety, as well as gangs and government affiliations of notoriety. Which, strangely enough, it didn't have Moosebeard as his own page, but that's fine. I mean,
he's got a lot of hate mail.
Easily recognizable cop on the force or anything.
Most handsome, most interesting.
But you're in there.
But there must have been a lot of work behind the scenes that went into that, because I think I asked you in character how many pages it was, and you're like, it's like 70 something pages. That must have taken so much. Why don't you tell us about the process and like what got you started on that, and like how and why?
I have a nice graphics mod, and my computer, I switched recently, not too long ago, to a dual PC setup, so I could really crank out the game, and still be able to capture it. So it, the magazine, we've done one, actually my boy Creo in the server, Makroot, he started up the idea of doing magazines because pastels and the comic store were kind of a newer thing then. And so we did one during Pride Month, and it was awesome. It looked amazing. It went great. And I wanted to pursue that so hard, but we were so heavy into the gang stuff that I really couldn't take the time to do it. We were working on a music edition too after that, but then our gang went to war with BBMC. One of our members shot Hubcap. Wu Chang got pissed that one of their artists got shot. They pulled out of the musician magazine, which was like 60% of our content in that magazine. So that one scrapped, which was kind of when after, you know, 69 kind of downsized and I had a lot more free time to kind of really focus that energy back into the actual brand again. And that's when I was like, fuck it, we're going to go full steam, full all out on 3.0, issue 3. And it initially was really, I wanted to do individual magazines for different groups. I wanted to do emergency personnel. I wanted to do gangs. I wanted to do, celebrities. I wanted to do all different things. I wanted to just keep coming out like once a month with an issue. And as soon as we came up with that idea, my boy Louis Crabgrass and I, real enjoy.
You don't know about Louis Crabgrass?
Yeah, Louis Crabgrass, you know. So we were going to initially do where we were going to have a bunch of celebrities wear our clothing, and we were going to showcase that kind of like, you know, these influential people, this is our clothing. And when we first initially came up with that idea, overnight, I had thought about it. I'm like, well, now we can, you know, basically start doing this. I'm compiling all the thoughts. Okay, yeah, all these different groups. We're going to get all these different shots. Racers, you know, pet lovers, fucking, you name it, whatever we could do. And by 9 o'clock in the morning, something like that, the announcement hit, you know, 3.0 is coming to an end, essentially, right? We got the announcement about the cars, you know, all getting taken. It was just like, you could tell something was happening. It wasn't quite the obvious announcement that the server was ending, but it was like, yeah, like it's pretty much there. Coil posted something. I can't remember the details now, but
I mean, the cars was a different thing.
Yeah, that one was different.
DMCA. I don't know how we made it this long.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly,
We're
true.
driving around in Mercedes and
yeah, all
licensed cars. Like, ooh, okay.
Yeah. But it definitely like made the climate obvious, like, oh, we might not have all this time to do month to month, you know. And I mean, I still don't really know. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. But I knew that right then and there, I was like, well, maybe what I'll just do is just smash all of that into one project, call it kind of like a celebration of 2022, where we're at, where we've come, you know, and really highlight all that and kind of celebrate it. And also kind of really show like, okay, 69 does have this kind of other side, and they can do this. They can really produce something that people would want to be a part of. And I think we really nailed that and hit that out of the park. I think people now, they're like, I'm getting calls, they're like, you know, I'm really pissed. You know, it was a great book, by the way, great book, but you know, I wasn't in it. And you know,
yeah, I'm mad.
Yeah. So it's like, well, good. This is great, because this is just the foundation, you know, when there's more projects that we're doing, you know, be there. Want you to be there for that. So and we've already gotten a lot of other projects lined up. People want to do calendar photo shoots for their gang. People want to do oh my God, the blocks. We just started something crazy yesterday. They want to do a whole book of the blocks where it's literally just people dying to them and on picture and a book of it, which is great because it's all self-incriminating, you know, like they do and all that. So we got that.
Give me a heads up when they're coming my way, please. Give me a warning.
Yeah. So yeah, really the idea of it was supposed to be spread out, and then it just like, fuck, like if I can do this and get it all out and put all that work in, you know, then we all have something tangible to like really look back. Instantly, as soon as the magazine came out, 90% of the cars that are in those pictures, they don't exist anymore. So it's kind of like you already have that kind of nostalgia. You have those memories right then and there.
People can go look with, because people are standing in front of their cars and stuff too, right?
Yeah, a lot of them.
That's so sick. Did you get one with like what's that car that Randy really loves? Starts with a J.
The Jesco?
Yeah.
No, I love that car too. No, I wish. I love Koenigsegg. It was like my favorite car. But then what's also kind of cool, it doubles as for people who don't maybe know all of the different walks of life that's going on in the server, especially if somebody just walks straight off the train right out of Ulta and gets a magazine, and they're like, boom, caught up to what everything is going on. Most people didn't even know there's so many different departments of PD. Like, everyday people who play every day didn't know there was a Final PD, didn't know there was a Davis PD, you know.
Because they all look like LSPD right now.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really have, yeah, you're right. Nothing like really stands out significantly. You obviously Troopers and
for long.
CPD. Hey,
For long.
that's
David's
cool.
getting something nice soon.
Better.
Love to see it. Love to see it.
You guys want me to leak it?
Copium. We don't need
Yeah, leak it
Give it to
live
him.
on the
and
podcast.
end up a Medi shit list? Are you
I'm
crazy?
messaging.
Come on,
Medi
there's
right
no
now.
way you're not already there.
Nah, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't even seen it. I'm being meta guarded too because
Because they know.
everybody is.
Because
I
they
think
I'm
it's the
know.
same as-
self-insert.
Same
I
as
think I'm like
CPD
my
stuff.
character.
When it was announced, it's like it was all behind locked gates and doors and shit.
No, the fucking devs that were working on it was streaming
Oh,
it
that's right. That's right. They
as
did
it
put
was
it on
being
Reddit,
worked
didn't
on.
they?
Goofballs.
Yeah.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Blunt.
Yeah.
The first clip I ever saw of you was it was a war clip. It was pretty. I don't like war clips too much.
Yeah.
The one you were in was fucking cool as shit, man. I don't know who BBMC. I don't know who it was. This man fucking John Wicked an entire gang. He was
Did he?
he was going from one fucking kill to another kill, just massacring them. I think he got like 6 of them, and it
Yeah.
wasn't like 6 in one fight. It was 6 in like 3 different fights, you know. And he was just fucking sneaking up. They were
Yes.
they were confused. They didn't know how many people were killing him. It was just one guy though.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
And they
I
wiped my
tried
whole
to
gang
look-
out.
That was dub?
Yeah. Yep.
I
Wow.
tried to look for it. I couldn't find it. I don't know. Maybe you no way you didn't save that. There's no way.
It's in
that's
there.
a clip.
Yeah, it's in there.
Can
Dude,
we
you
watch it?
saved
If
it.
you guys
Yeah.
okay?
Spank bang.
It's not too long, is it? I
No.
don't think. Yeah.
Is it the whole? Is it like a?
Send it to
Just the
52
one where
and he'll
there's
stream
just
it.
there was one like a kill that was really like fucking Tarantino action packed like explosions and shit.
Oh
so
yes,
cool.
yes. Oh yes. Okay.
Let's watch that one.
Let me get this for you.
Just know we're gonna watch this, and you're only gonna see him kill 2 people, but no 5 people.
Is there
die
music
before.
in it? You know?
No.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
Mm-mm.
Did you have your face cam on?
I did.
He did. Okay. We get to see his gamer face as he's fucking killing people. It's pretty cool.
So there is.
How did that war end again?
Pretty much after that fight. That was it.
Oh.
They were like, yeah, we called it off after that.
Better.
Let's see.
While you're looking for that,
Yes.
52 Troms. I just wanted to say, been getting a lot of views on a lot of our episodes on the podcast. A lot of people are coming through. Some of the episodes are hitting 2K views now, and it's really cool. And I'm just really proud of us. I'm proud of the podcast. A lot of people are coming through. It seems like every time I go to one of your guys' channels, somebody might be in the comments talking about the podcast. It's awesome, man.
They're all like, "Where's the latest episode? It's late." How
Well, that's
come?
what they say for you.
No. There's only one episode was late,
Spotify,
and that's because it was on Spotify, but it wasn't uploaded, so I had to delete it and re-upload it, and then it was good. You talk to Mr. Spotify about that one, okay? I can't do anything about that. What do you want? What do you want me to do?
How come the latest episode's not up, Hydra? What happened?
I was actually there was one guy who was like, "Hey, where's the Spotify episode?" And I was like, "What? You listen on Spotify?"
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
A lot of
do.
people,
They
I didn't
listen
realize.
I've got a lot of people who listen like at work or in their car. They don't watch on YouTube. Spotify's
Hey, if you're
important.
driving to work right now, go fuck yourself. This is
What?
Damn!
Oh my god! Crash your
driving
car,
right now.
moron!
Oh, I'm
Just
not
close your
that
eyes.
far.
Just close them. Just close them.
them.
Close them. Don't do that.
The Yespixel podcast does not condone any terrible driving. Please do not hurt yourself while you're driving to work.
Everything said about the Yespixel podcast is not a suggestion. It is all jokes. These are all humorous jokes designed for jokes. Only a fool would take anything we said seriously.
You know what they say? You know what they say in my chat about the podcast?
What? You don't talk enough?
Yeah, motherfuckers. I do. I've
Don't.
made
No,
a
you don't.
conscious effort. Yes, I talk plenty. What do you mean?
Okay.
I've been talking now.
Dude, you spent a quarter of this podcast getting your weird eye thing set up.
That's because I wanted to see if you guys noticed and you didn't, and it looked so weird that I didn't want to look at it no more. So I just said, I brought it up myself.
Oh,
Here
that's
it is.
so
We
funny.
found it.
We got it. We ready?
Okay. Yeah, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Send it. Freaking send it, bud.
Send it, bud. Nice. An ad? Watching
Yeah,
ads?
for invest.
Oh, he driving. Oh, he driving in first person. He looking through his eyes.
Because he's about to be shooting. 'Cause it's a power gamer. Look at this guy. All right, so Dub's driving in first person.
He's
Left
locked
onto Spanish
in.
Ave. Left westbound Spanish Ave.
He's lining it up. He got the tire.
He got the. Ooh. Oh. Oh my God. Okay, he's just executed the driver. The van's on fire.
Those dead BBMC
Oh my God.
motherfuckers, huh?
Oh my God.
Why is the van on fire? Oh
What you
my
doing with those
God.
dead BBMC motherfuckers, huh? Huh?
Huh? That's so good. Oh, don't do it to him. He's shooting the van
Feel
right
my
now.
fucking anger!
Oh my God, the van just exploded.
It's in on top, motherfucker!
They're hitting the desk, dude. So proud of yourself.
Yo!
So proud, dude.
That is not a good SUV either.
No,
That's
it's
not
not.
a
No,
good
this is a
SUV.
garbage. This is an F class.
Oh man.
That's awesome.
Certified gamer moment right there.
CG versus
Oh no, we got a commentarier of Nopixel. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that was a good.
You know, Lysium's like the fucking ESPN fucking commentator of Nopixel Wars, I swear. Like there's not a single conflict clip that he hasn't reviewed. He sits there and then he gives pointers like
That's so funny.
they should have done this then, and then
He
the
Monday
class
night
one over
coaches
the
it?
class 2 I'm not sure about.
Oh
But
my God.
this guy came in real clutch right here. But all in all, they could do better.
Does he give him a rating at the end? I give these
No, I don't
guys 5 wanted stars out of 5.
I don't know. I've seen a few though. I've seen a few, and he's very critical. I'll give him that. Very critical of performances. My goal in life is for him to call me a shooter. If he calls me a shooter, then I've made it.
Oh,
No,
You're not getting it.
No, I'm not.
yes, I am.
You know,
I can do it.
I was surprised to see recently that Dundee had a automatic pistol when we
Yeah.
apprehended him for the murder
That's
thing.
old, isn't it?
That he got bail on immediately. The automatic pistol is old. It's a Glock 18C, but it's just they haven't been around in, geez, like almost a year.
yeah.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen
it's
one of
almost-
those. Those things were crazy. I guess was that one of the ones that did he have it from before the weapons that started degenerating or
Don't know.
on the
No,
bench?
that's why I was curious. I saw the clip of it and I was like, damn, I don't want to know how he got that, but I'm
Right.
impressed that he had it. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Dude, it's been really nice to see Dundee back in the city. Don't get me wrong, I love Croc. I don't know why other people don't. I mean, I guess I kind of do,
I like Croc too.
but I love Croc, and just watching people like mauled at him. He was so good at like getting under people's skin. I loved it so much. But Dundee is so menacing. You know what I mean? Like you just feel like you might die at any moment around him. It's so good. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Yeah.
He shot Moosebeard. We spoke about it in the pre.
Yeah, why was that, Carmen? Oh,
I don't
that's
know.
right.
I mean, maybe it's because you nominated yours. Thank you for that, by the way. You know what?
Thank God,
You
thank
denied
God,
me. You denied me. You denied me ending my stream. I wanted to IC
It's
you
fine.
there so I could just.
It's great. I mean, you denied me doing something smart by doing something stupid and driving into the Billabong.
The
should've
timing on
stopped
them
you.
pulling out was fucking disgusting.
Oh, yeah. This was the last week situation where you guys went to
Yeah.
into the bill. Were they like? I meant to ask, but I forgot last week. Were they like laying down, like Slash Me is covered in tarp, or were they actually like hidden from sight?
No,
We didn't know
they
they
just
were
came
there.
out of nowhere. They were on the rooftops and shit.
Just like fucking. Is it Ewoks? The ones that jump out
yeah.
of fucking trees? Like,
Yeah, dude, it was exactly like that. I think they were like inside their houses or something like that, and they heard a CVPI rolling up, and they're like, "What the fuck are they doing here?" And they came out to look, and then just saw Carmine. He's sitting in his car. Hey, what's going on here? Hey, what's the BBC looking for, Buka?
That's great.
And you know what Moosebeard was doing the whole time? Carmine, I told you. The whole fucking time.
Yeah, I tried to put the blame on him right away.
I mean, perfect. Yeah, of course.
And then I
he took
realized,
then he
wait,
took
no.
Consequences.
Captain, gotta go down with the ship.
Nice.
That actually was so good. That was so cool.
You know,
It just worked out.
one person I rode with recently that I had fun with was Walnut Cast Brick.
Dude, he's actually the funniest guy on the server. Like, there's just no doubt about it in my mind. He's literally the funniest guy on the server. And he doesn't even role play anymore. He's literally just being funny and having fun. And I love that.
He's got a mini brick that he talks to.
Yeah, Mini Brick has some real controversial things to say as well. Oh my god.
About Black History Month, yeah.
Yeah, apparently Mini Brick went to the SDSO meeting yesterday, and no one else was getting anything to say. And then I think somebody was like, "What does Mini Brick have to say?" So Brick, by the way, for those of you who don't know, it's a brick. He's got a brick, and he just holds it up, and he says it's his brick action figure, but it talks through him.
Of course.
So he gets up to the meeting and he goes, "Yeah, hey guys, not really a huge fan of this month, but
what? Oh my god, dude.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Brick is like the polar opposite, right? He's been just like embracing it.
Who was it? Someone accidentally punched, I think, Marcus Moore.
Gemma.
The Gemma punched Marcus
Classic
Moore.
Gemma.
And he was really like, he white knighted the shit out of him.
I'll find it. It's so good.
He was like, "Not on this." I'm not gonna ruin it. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, that guy's his delivery's so good. I wonder how well that would translate into like stand-up comedy.
Dude, he literally could. He 100% he could.
Don't tell the SDSO I said this, but a lot of the SDSO guys, I feel like if anyone could do stand-up comedy, their SDSO is stacked.
All right, it's in the studio. It's a Twitter clip, so it's not amazing, but I'll get it done. After we watch this, I got a question for everybody.
Ooh, okay.
Deep, thoughtful question.
Meaningful, important.
Yeah, very meaningful.
We're scrolling.
What's the first best? Kwanzaa.
Yeah, so what's like your favorite holiday, right?
Yeah. Just no hesitation, Kwanzaa.
Not everybody. Is that right, Marcus?
He's dead. He's dead.
He's got the Pilbus laugh.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Gemma!
There you go.
Oh my god.
Not this fucking month!
Oh, fuck me.
God.
Oh,
Not this fucking month.
Holy fuck.
I didn't know if it was him laughing or you laughing, man.
Both of them cackle. Both of them are cacklers. They both got hyena laughs. That's funny.
I wasn't ready for that.
Peter, shout out to Peter. We're gonna get Peter on the show at some point in time.
Yeah.
He's actually
DM him. Get him here next week. We'll get him on next week. We're getting him on next week. He will be here next week. And if he's not, it's because he hates everyone listening. Hey, don't make us tweet nice things about you. You know what happens.
There's a bit where
I'm making a list for you, Hydro. Hold on. Anyway, I have my question before I get distracted. Don't know what's going on. I don't think many people do. thoughts on what's going on with the aliens and the arc and the holes in the street and like everything? Theories, anything like that? What do you guys think is going on with that?
I think it's going to be some Cloverfield shit. I like the idea that it would be like a big sort of like a send off into next edition, you know, 4.0. I mean, how long have we been doing 3.0 now? 3 years?
What? 3 years?
No, 2.
2?
2 in a couple
2.
months.
No, 2 in 2 days.
This month,
okay.
yeah.
In literally February 5th. I actually think it may have been the 6th, but it was announced for opening on the 5th.
Yeah.
5th of February of 2021.
I think it's a little premature then, but I love the idea of like a wipe happening. I think that at this point, everybody knows the economy's super fucked. I think at this point, everybody knows that like a lot of people are feeling a little burnout, and I think a wipe could go a long way. I think it'd be very interesting to see how things happen. So if it was a big sort of cataclysmic event that led to a wipe, just imagine how the event ends and you get the server message, like as the server closes, thank you for like joining Nopixel 3.0. We're very excited to see you all in 7 days in Nopixel 4.0 or something like that, right? Would that be amazing? Probably not going to happen, probably premature, but oh man, just a wipe or 3.1 or 3.5, just for the wipe, you know? Oh, got it. Dreams. I'm dreaming. This is my old Tarkov love. Like wipe.
I'm actually curious as to like what they did for the end of 2.0.
Nothing.
No. I mean, like, what was the announcement like? You know what I mean? Like, did they say, oh, you're gonna have this long?
It was around Christmas is all I remember, and I was very, very sad, so I don't recall.
Me neither, but I know that nothing was like there was no server events. I think they just took the server down a couple of days.
I know they had a forum an announcement that said like server's gonna be down for this long. On this day, people will be able to log in based on their prio and make new characters, or something like that.
Yeah.
What if the theory is that the event is so cataclysmic, everything kind of gets a soft wipe, but yet everything's already been integrated into the server that everybody just gets, like, I think there was a clip of Coil saying everyone starts in the south side. So what if something happens to such an extreme that maybe we all get to kind of continue? We don't have to rebirth our stories. We don't have to re-meet everybody, but we're all just now in a post-hardcore world where we're now all stuck in this, you know, we're all trying to figure out what the hell's going on from there, and all of the mechanics, all of the different things are now implemented, and then we just kind of continue from that point. Because it seems like they've sprinkled in different things to kind of get us ready for hardcore, you know, gun recoil. I mean, I can go on. There's like a whole lot of different things that have changed, and economy differences, stuff like that, that maybe it's already integrated, and then it becomes something that is like that. It's potential. I don't know. It's a theory.
Yeah, I can see it.
Trying to find anything that says like what happened
On the end of 2.0 announcement wise.
So it says there's a tweet by Han back on February 1st. It said 2.0 shuts down for good this Wednesday. And then, so yeah, it was only down. It was only down for a couple days before the 3.0 launched. Yeah, but I can't find anything else that like supports kind of like how they went about it or announcing it or anything like that. Just kind of see what they've done in the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it wasn't very. There was like no big stuff, but we also didn't. The devs weren't like being compensated a lot of the time. They they didn't have as many like resources to work with. So now that we've got like more consistent dedicated devs, you know, we've got Clear, we've got Nikes, you know, we've got a bunch of other devs that are able to work on stuff like this in tandem, you know. So I think I'm pretty sure Nikes is the one responsible for all the animal sounds and stuff, right? He's the one doing that. Usually whenever there's spooky stuff happening, it's him doing it.
Yeah.
I specifically haven't, like, I don't know because I don't want to, but
Right.
that's typically what I expect to see. And I don't know. I'm very curious. These guys are very creative and they can often throw curveballs our way, and I like that. I like it not being very predictable. It was always nice to run into. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to whatever it is, though.
It looks like we'll get at least a week's notice.
Yeah.
Judging by what I'm seeing, because the people were talking about 3.0 launch about a week before. So January 28th, Han said February 5th is going to be a great day. So we'll definitely at least get a week.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to treat it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, whatever happens, though. I'm looking forward to whatever the changes are, whatever the future holds. I think a little bit of a shakeup is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. How would you guys prefer a hard wipe or a soft wipe? Now, I know people who've made their own gangs, especially people from the ground up, you know, with Santha Nove. I know that the idea of a hard wipe is probably pretty daunting to you, but you have prio at this point, right?
I do. Yeah, I do.
So, I mean, you'd be able to kind of start things fresh, you know.
Maybe. I mean, I know they did say they were kind of adamant about the prio wipe, and I'd imagine, of course, that wouldn't be everybody, but you know what I mean, for smaller kind of people, you know, like myself and whatnot, I don't know if that would necessarily carry over.
What, prio wipe? What are we talking about?
Yeah, there was talks about with the hardcore server that there would be kind of like a prio reset, so to speak.
For hardcore, or
yeah,
okay.
I think that was speculation. It could be off, but I'm pretty sure that's what a lot of people were kind of skeptical of or talking about.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, of course, you know, it's so confusing because it's there's so much questions with hardcore. Like, I mean, I even think about it when it comes to like full-time streamers that are main cops, or just like they have a cop main only. What does that mean for them if their character's in ICU for 8 hours, or they're, you know, whatever the case might be for that character? I mean, how does that, you know, translate to? So there's like a lot of I just think of that a lot. I'm like, well, I mean, even if you have prio and you have, you know, a way to kind of start with that, it's also like, it's still interesting concept for everybody's characters, really. Like, if it's true that, like, yeah, if you're hospitalized too many times, like, and you're gone for hours and hours and hours out of the day, or your crimes are, you know, getting worse and worse and worse to where you're sitting in prison for 8 hours out of the day. I mean, now you got to start picking up a bunch.
Did you freeze or? Oh, you froze.
Die?
I don't hear him either.
Well, we gotta take a screenshot. That's the rule.
We lost him.
He's fucking dead. All right, some technical difficulties. We lost Blunt here. But yeah, I hear what he's saying. He's saying, you know, how do we deal with if you're only playing a cop on a hardcore server and there's prio resets? How are you able to continue playing on the server? I think a lot of people, I think Troms did a really good job of explaining this. I don't think it's hardcore in the way that a lot of people think. I think that it's going to be hardcore in terms of like the expected level of roleplay and the punishments that follow whenever you don't consistently bring the expected level of roleplay to the server. I don't think it's going to be you're in a hospital for a long time, you're in prison for a long time. I think it's going to be this is the server for
what the hell? Might be extended prison sentences.
Yeah,
kind of make it more realistic,
which would be fine. Welcome back. What?
Thanks.
I don't know how much you heard. We were kind of following up on what you said. I was explaining that Troms, go ahead. You can say it. You said it really good last time.
Sorry, I'm trying to fix myself.
He's a blurry boy. He's a blurry boy right now.
I'll just gesture a lot so you guys can
I just get
tell
cataract?
what's going on.
I knew he was part of the hidden.
Hold on, I'll fix it.
All right. So long story short, we don't think hardcore is going to be hardcore as in you are in dead for a long time or perma coughed constantly, but rather it's going to be hardcore in the sense of the expected level of role play.
Oh, okay.
Hardcore as in this is where the people who get sick of the really dudes and the OOC chatter, this is going to be the place where you can kind of stay away from all that. That's why I think someone like you and 52 are really going to thrive. You guys are very good at that. I worry that I go OOC a little too much sometimes in like little ways, but like it still happens. It's like I'm not, and the thing is I'm not, you know, I'm not some of the funnier people on the server who can do it really well. You know, like we were just talking about somebody who does it in such a funny, like natural way, but even his, I don't think would be very welcome on the hardcore server, right? I think that's sort of the idea is that, you know, those jokes will kind of stay out of it.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe there's a ghost standing between you and your camera, Troms.
What the hell is? How did it happen again?
I loved the finger.
You good.
Dude,
I felt like I was doing a field sobriety test. Yeah.
Is the camera good now?
Ooh.
Okay.
Me? Yeah, no, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. Listen, okay, no matter what, even if I'm a blurry mess, I still look better than you, Chains.
Damn.
Okay. All right. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. What do you guys think of Chat GPT, the AI chatbot thing?
I love it. It's so fun. I've used it to make a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
You can make reports. You just write in the street name, write in what happened, write in the names of the people, write in like little details of what they did, and then
no way. That's so smart. What the hell?
Don't you have to pay for ChatGPT now? Isn't it like $16 a month or something?
20, I think. 20.
Dude, to have it do my reports for me, I'd do that.
Yeah.
Dude, do my report. That's excellent. I started just doing like the shittiest short reports, like
I've
report
seen
will go like
Stubble's type. The type Stubble does, right? Where it's
I
like
think
brief, did this, did that, we did this.
Yeah, that's what I do. I tend to type out a lot more though, but I really get to the point. Like I skip over a lot. A pursuit began. It was lengthy. Eventually the car was disabled. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm just
Sorry about
happy. Chat can't weaponize itself anymore. They used to hold that shit against me. No more now. I got Chat GPT. I upgraded.
That's awesome.
As somebody who's been playing a lawyer a lot recently, turns out you can basically write nothing in your report as long as you show up to give officer testimony. Because you can just say what would have been in your report. You don't. I mean, yeah, photos of the crime, like your radar. If it's like a parking thing, like of the vehicle, and then the prosecutor just goes, "Were you driving this vehicle?" And they go, "Yeah." And they go, like, was your vehicle parked here? And they go, well, yeah, but there's a lot of reasons. Like, just answer the question. Yeah. Okay, I rest my case. They're like, fuck.
Shit. I forget how easy evidence makes prosecution.
Dude, that block trial the other day, Chains. I had so much fun with that. Dude, you know what I've learned with police trials? You can't take them seriously. You just can't.
Yeah, you know I got 600 months for that.
Yeah, I know. I know. I put the warrant out for you.
It's crazy. And
it's good though. It was good role play, wasn't it?
It was good
role
play.
With Trav.
600.
I gave you guns in prison, or I give you a taser.
Oh yes.
You gave the man a taser in prison?
I gave him a taser. Well, it was on the Littlemans. I have both helped and hurt him.
Wait, did you screw him as Moosebeard and then get on the Littlemans and help him?
No.
It wasn't like that.
Not like deliberately, but like did it work? Because sometimes it can work out that way, right?
Yeah.
No, if him and Boober went there and they didn't pocket me like they did, I would have been fucked. Cause the judge had it out for me. But I almost got perjury. Guess what I almost got perjury for? Take a guess. What do you think someone would get perjury for?
Going to the bathroom.
No.
Not shutting the fuck up.
No, perjury's lying.
Oh, perjury. Sorry. I was thinking contempt.
They almost threw the case out because of it. I had to plead with the judge.
Okay.
Not to.
What could you have gotten perjury for? Exaggerating? Love?
No, love, yes. A speculative thing that comes down to the individual. I said on the stand that my character loves lemon. Even if I'm lying, there's no way you can prove that. There's no
what
way
is
you can
lemon?
prove that.
Like the fruit? The citrus?
No, lemon cheese.
Oh, okay.
Peaches. That's what I almost got perjury for that.
That's so funny.
I was like, what could I? Because I one thing I need to do less of if I know I might get fucked by the judge is talk.
True.
And I was on the stand and I was fucking long-winded answer and I was like, what did I say that could have got me perjury? I was trying to be really careful and make sure everything was super vague and opinionated. That even if I was lying, technically I'm not lying because it's from my. And I find out it was fucking because I said I love Karma and love lemon, and that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild.
Oh, good.
That was
And the
a
way
really
the
good court
perjury was
case.
delivered too is crazy. The judge looked me dead in my eye and said, "You are no longer being held as a reliable witness to this crime, to this whatever. You're being cited for perjury. Now leave my court." Like it was akin to a "you're fired" speech.
Oh my god.
Because
I
once
love
you
it.
get perjury, that's it, right? Perjury
Yeah.
or witness tampering.
Yep. I wish John Hydra would have gotten judge, honestly. I wish they would have added an extra seat. I think that would have been great. I think that would have been
It
great.
would have been fun. I'm kind of glad that I didn't get judged just because it means I can go back to PD. I've just been slow playing it. I don't know. I didn't get on the server
Yeah.
much last week just because I was just having a down week and wasn't feeling very good mentally. And I
Yeah.
just don't want to. I don't want to be on the server and be depressed at the same time. It's just cringe. You just say shit you don't mean, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yep.
Respect that.
As much as it hurts, like the concurrent viewers and all that, I just didn't. I'd rather not be on the server than like be forcing myself to be on the server and be the sad boy.
Yeah. I don't know how like if I'm in a like shitty mood and I'm not having fun, I usually just call it.
I
Just
think
close out
that's the move.
and
Dash the
Best way to
move.
do it.
What do you do, Blunt? When you're in a shitty mood? Because a lot of people they'll go, okay, I'm not feeling good, so what I'll do is I'll try to find something on the server to make me feel better,
Yeah.
right? Because unfortunately,
that's not it.
for better or worse, Nopixel has a bad habit of getting people to not have hobbies outside of Nopixel.
Yeah, that's true. So when you're saying more like when I'm in a bad mood and I'm off the server trying to whatever, or you mean like if I'm just trying to push through it in the server type thing?
Yeah, like when you're in the server, like what do you do? I mean, what do you get off? Like what do you end up doing?
I mostly usually find myself getting off from just sheer exhaustion, tired. If I find myself kind of in a shitty mood, which, is a criminal main, and you take L's from other groups or from cops or whatever, like you can definitely get like that super overwhelming, just like fuck, like feeling where you're just like, this is so shitty.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I guess like I guess the only thing I can think of that I do like when I'm like just bored or like trying to create a good energy is like just more like music and driving, because I
Okay.
like to drive on the server. So I have a drift car that I love to bust out if I'm like, feeling like, all right, whatever, there's nothing going on or there's nobody, I need to stay out of trouble. I need to stay away from blah, blah, blah. Like, but I don't know. It's like therapeutic to just kind of talk to people too a lot. I mean, just even the random shit that you get into, it's like, it kind of it just takes your headspace out a lot. But I can imagine too, like it's one of the main reasons why I probably never shot for making a PD character is I can imagine there being way more stresses that are just like you can't really control. You're just stuck in it, and you have to deal with it. You have to go through the whole motion, from a criminal who might be, super salty or super whatever, or high command probably coming down your throat for something that you did that wasn't wrong. Or I can imagine, right? I don't really know, but I feel like I have an idea that it can be a little stressful, frustrating, and you're probably like, yeah, I just want to switch characters, or yeah, I'm gonna get off, or like, and you can't really avoid it because you got to sit there through the cells, you got to sit there through, the paperwork, and God forbid now it's a bench trial, and you're in it even longer, and it's like that can seem daunting for sure. As a criminal, it's like once you're out of the cell and you're in Bolingbroke, it's like, okay, whole new situation now. You're removed, gone. You could be pissed when you're washing dishes, whatever, but eventually that subsides, and then you're like, all right, I'm getting out. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. So I don't know. I imagine there's definitely a different balance there, but music's always been the best therapy in my book. For sure.
That's good. I'm curious because you brought up a really interesting point about like when you're a cop and like kind of being forced to do stuff. Problems in 52. When I'm a cop, I always try to like take time to like quickly write up a report, and if I do have to be in the cells, I almost never feel like I have to be in the cells. I feel like I get to be in the cells. You know what I mean? And I always worry that the criminal's like, well, I have to be here. So I try really hard to like never leave them alone for too long.
Yeah.
I try to like talk to them. I try to like maintain like a conversation or role play of some variety. I hate the like, do you need any food or water? Okay, goodbye. Like I'll be back in 15 minutes with your final verdict. I do all this stuff right in front of them, and I talk to them, and because it just feels like they have to be there.
Yeah.
Like,
no, that's awesome. And I think as criminals, they appreciate the extra mile because it can just be a very cut dry. This is it. Now I'll be back with your charges. Bye.
Yeah.
And it is at the end of the day role play, even in those small situations. Like even if you've done it hundreds of times, it is still a role play scenario. So to add to that, give them a little bit extra. I think that's big. And if you get that back, then it makes it worth it instantly.
Well, it reminds me of like working at the restaurants, right? Where you have the option to spend a little bit of time with that person, give them a little bit of role play, and give them something they're not, used to getting. Whereas when we have somebody in the cells, what kind of sucks is they have no way out of it, and so you don't exactly know if they enjoy that or not, or if they're enjoying what's going on, or if they just want to get out, right? So as much as I love to like take my time and like give people like something interesting, talk with them for a little bit. A lot of the time lately, if I really like somebody in the cells, I'm like giving them the / award thing too, like trying to help them out. There've been some really, really funny, interesting people lately that I've really enjoyed role playing with. Like taking those extra minutes to like, talk. And I feel like that's where a lot of cops miss out on the opportunity to connect as well. Like Moosebeard, for instance, he used to be a criminal, and he's gonna uphold the law. He's gonna do what a cop should do. But with that said, he's also like, he understands, he knows what that life's like, and he knows it's gonna be there no matter what, and that you can't really change a person, so you shouldn't really like hate them for what they do or dislike them, right? And so it's like they've already been caught, they're going away, they're being sentenced. It's like, now have like a civil conversation with them, like get on their level and be like, I like I'll like really get into it. I'll be like, oh, who was driving? That was like so good. Like, no, I'm not putting on a warrant or anything. It's just like that whoever was driving was doing great. Like I'm like very supportive and like, hey, you'll get it next time. Don't worry, you got this.
That's awesome.
I think it's just interesting to give people, especially when you have them stuck there. It's like give them a little bit of interestingness. Give them something they're not going to see that day.
Well, I think that goes both ways because I think some people forget quickly, when they're in custody, that they're quick to just be like, yeah, plead the fifth. I'm not going to talk. There's nothing here. Like that doesn't mean you can't talk. Just don't talk about what you did. Don't incriminate yourself. But that's a great opportunity for criminals when they are in police custody. There's a lot of just genuine rap that can happen right then and there that some people, it's easy to get a little frustrated and just want to kind of skip it but not say it and just kind of shut it down, but it does go both ways. And I think PD really does appreciate when a criminal's even in custody, not, not focus so much on the situation and being able to kind of like just I don't know. But I was gonna ask, do you remember, Troms, when you it was during a boost and you broke into our parked car and hid in the trunk?
I wasn't okay. I was thinking of that before the podcast. And I couldn't remember if it was you or not, but yes.
Yes.
And then I hopped out of the trunk, and I think you were going through your like van or something like that at the time.
Yep.
And you ended up putting your van away, and I was like, "Get your hands up!" And that was one of those situations where I could have used. I was a cadet, by the way. I definitely should
Were
not have
you?
been doing
Oh, I didn't
that.
know
Yes,
that.
I was a cadet. That was one of those situations where I could have been using a lot more power, right? Like
Yeah.
it could have been doing, like getting back up or like really trying to like arrest you, right?
Yes.
But it was like, man, this is just such like a unique situation that like I don't want to
Oh my God.
try to like take it too far.
It was so good because we were talking about the boost job we did. I was talking about how I have to go get my fucking weed plants from up north.
That's right.
Oh
And
my
I think
God.
He heard it all, saw the house, the van, the fucking. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
that was good. Yeah,
Oh
and
my
again, it was one of those
God.
situations too where because I was like in your trunk and I like chose not to like put out a warrant or anything like that. It was like, whatever. I shouldn't have been there in the first place, but it was just funny. It was like, put a little bit of fear in you as well.
Oh,
Like,
it was-
shit, this guy
The
knows.
whole
You know,
gang got rattled.
Move all the shit. Get it all out.
We were so shook. It was so good. And do you ever remember like the random times where you would just randomly get like $1,000 slipped into your pocket from like
No.
a masked guy? No.
No,
There
I
is
don't remember
times
that.
I would catch you and you'd be talking to somebody or doing something, and I would just quickly pull up on a bicycle or something and just slip $1,000 in your pocket. It's like
I don't remember any specific
so
time.
funny.
That sounds like
Yeah.
something that would happen to Moosebeard, though.
yeah.
So.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
Good.
that's
I
good.
did my job then. You didn't notice. That's good.
That's good. I like to, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I like to think that like I read the room a lot, and like one of the things as a cop, I think you need to be able to match yourself to like what other people expect. Like if they expect a hard cop, be a hard cop. If they're doing joke littleman crime, give them a joke cop, right? Like match yourself to that.
Yeah.
And I think on top of that, it not just in character, but like out of character, you need to match your power to like what other people want. And in a situation like that, where, I definitely could have tried to like pursue a warrant or something like that. I was like, maybe sitting in his trunk and going essentially undercover isn't the best way to get some information on this guy. So
It still worked. We still went over and beyond after that to make sure everything was secured and whatever we had to do. Because I was like, bro, he could easily fuck me so bad right now. Like,
yeah.
I was waiting for it and it never came. I was like, oh, all right.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like the Moosebeard now might have tried to push something.
Yeah.
Just because I think one of the things that I've missed out on is conflict. I spent too long being like really, really nice to everybody. And I think you miss out on a lot. Being really, really nice and like trying to like look after everybody and like take care of their concerns, right?
Oh, what does Carmine think of the opposite of that spectrum? Where
I'll
I
be
feel like he's got a
honest.
lot of controversy.
I'll be honest. I feel like I've toned down Carmine's abrasiveness when it comes
Okay.
to certain people, because as much as I want to play the character the way I, designed him to, which is be an asshole, try and fuck people over, certain people you can't do that with,
Mhm.
because it just goes into mold territory. And what's the point of doing it if it's not fun?
True.
There's people who do it and they do it reasonably well. I just don't want to be, I don't know. I'm waiting for the hardcore server to get into any of that, but Right now, while the server the way it is, it coming to an end, people unwinding. Some people get on the server because they're having a shitty day. They want to use it. They use the server, you get in a good mood. And I try to read. I try to read people. I think of the rapport I have with them, what I know with them, what they're okay with, and then I determine whether how nice I have to be or how much of an asshole I have to be. 9 times out of 10, though, if it's someone I have to be nice to, if I'm an asshole to, they get pissed off. I avoid them.
Mm.
I
Well,
avoid them.
I loved it when Blunt did the photo shoot with Carmine because it kind of almost started as like a traffic stop. And I was like, I really like your style. I think like we could take make a nice picture out of you in uniform and whatever. And he's just like totally skeptical. Mr. Blunt, are you talking about, you trying to get out of this ticket? And I'm like, listen, I'll take the ticket, but I still want to do the photo shoot. And at first he's like, it's going to cost you money. You're going to have to pay me $10,000 or $5,000, something like that. I was like, yeah, it's fine. I'll take care of it. And like, you could tell that like kind of standoffishness was strong in the beginning. And at the end of it, he's like, yeah, you know what? Don't pay me. It's fine. I had a good time, and it was just like, oh shit. It was cool. It was cool.
The picture you took, it's Carmine leaning up against the LSPD wall. You didn't tell me I was leaning up against the D. Why didn't you? Someone noticed that. Someone noticed that.
Well, it's funny because somebody in the chat was like, oh, because you did the one where like, you had like you was like flicking his nail all like stanced out, right? Like, and they're like, oh, that one is so much more Carmine. You should use that one. And I almost did, but I was like, man, this one looks so gangster, bro. And I was like, I like this, Yeah. But it's so funny how many people have been like, because it's right in the beginning pretty much, and they're like, oh, you have Carmine in this magazine? It's like, what do you mean? I'm like, and now I'm counting. I'm like, oh, well, now you're the 9th person to tell me this. Like, great. Like, what's so bad about it? They're like, oh, no. Like, wow, you actually managed to make Carmine look cool. It's so funny, kind of that initial, when people first open the book, they see, Abdul's pictures look amazing. And then right after that, Crane with the fucking RPG. And then right after that, Crystal drinking behind the the captain's desk, and then Carmine right there looking badass. And it's like, it's just such a funny first moments when people open it, all the reactions, all the wows, all the like, oh my god, there's so much going on. So
I still haven't seen it in character. I still haven't seen
really it. What? Oh my god, we printed like 1,000, and I think we've already distributed like 850 or more.
What?
Yeah, so we've made it a point to like just get it out to everybody as much as we can, and it's been crazy. So I know there's still some that haven't, so we still got more work to do.
Crazy to me how much love you guys put in it, because I don't see all the work you put in. I just see, hey, do you want this magazine? I'm like, sure, and I look at it, I'm like, oh, this is cool, and then it hits me later that I'm like, oh, this is like love and work and effort, and it's just like, oh man, this is a lot. This is a lot of energy to put into a thing, and like, it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, man, it was cool. Yesterday we did a LSBN interview, Chelsea, and she put it in the best words ever. She was like, so this magazine, it seems like a love letter back to the city. And I was like, wow, I could not have said it any better than that. That is exactly where I feel like that came from. And, one of the moments that it was funny, I was in bed. I think I was like planning on maybe jumping in the server or not. And I was just kind of relaxing. And I saw Nikita went online, Tessa Lamb. And I clicked on it right then and there. She was getting the magazine. It was getting brought to her. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, I'd like to see this reaction. Let's check it out. And she stopped on the page of her next to Bo. And honestly, like, it was crazy. It was in that moment that I didn't really realize just what it really showed that what I put into it and the thoughtfulness, like the care of where I put a lot of these pictures, like it meant something to somebody to the level that it kind of did even me. And she choked up. She's silent. I mean, like tears, you can hear it. And literally as a grown man, I haven't, it doesn't happen often, but when it does, like I feel it, and sure shit, man, I started tearing up. Like I felt it, like I was right there with her. I wish I did. I feel like I'm broken. I'm like, what's wrong with me, man? I don't. Where's my real?
I'm just saying it's beautiful.
emotions?
Don't stress it.
It is beautiful.
You know what I'm saying?
It
Like,
is.
don't.
No,
You're good.
I didn't mean it in a way
you're
that
not
like
less
men can't-
masculine
yeah.
for crying, man.
No, it was like I appreciated it. I felt like I needed it, and it was like with this project, it was just like it meant a lot in so many different ways. But then seeing it right then and there of somebody truly like real life live reaction, and you could tell it hit her so deep, and it was like, and I didn't know who to put. Who do you put next to Bo? Like who puts? What do you do with that? If you're the guy who's got to do the layout, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of like as I was sorting it, it was just like Tessa means so much to this community, so much to the server. I don't think that it would be wrong to put her there. And it was just another testament. There's been so many individual moments that have happened afterwards that it's like people will pick out pictures that I thought people might have skimmed over, and they really touch on it and like break down the detail and explain the little things that they noticed in the picture that I tried to capture, that I was aware of, that I really put a lot of thought into. And I'm like, when I hear that, it's like, holy shit, like people see it, like they really saw like what was going on there. And then also I kind of hope, I haven't really asked anybody, but I kind of hope it's really generated a lot of conversation between a lot of other people being like, oh, I saw you in the magazine, like blah, 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 blah. Like I kind of hope that also came of that, because I can imagine there being a lot of people that are like, whoa, now I know more about you, or now I can have something to talk about when I see you. And it's like, I don't know. I think that there was a lot of meaning behind it. And I wanted to make sure it was free. I wanted to make sure everybody got a copy. Like that whole adventure of it was just like, yeah, it would feel scummy to try and like profit for the company on this. It was like, it doesn't even, couple $100,000 tops. Like, what is that? That's nothing in character when, so
People are so invested in like how much things cost in the game. And I always try to come back to like, I'm trading the pixel dollars for content, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't put a price on that. But so, okay, what are your guys' favorite pictures favorite picture? One.
I've never looked at your magazine.
Shit.
You've given me like 6 copies. I haven't looked at it once. I'm sorry. It's just such it's such a meme at this point, because I'm always like, hey, can I get one of the magazines? You're like, sure, and I just never look at it.
Just piled up on the water tank of the toilet, and just back there.
I like the Troopers one. I think it was cool.
Yeah.
Obviously like the CPD one. Just got to stand there with my musket out.
That was so cool.
Really cool. So cool. Little Men's one was good, but I think overall the ones that I like the most are the single person shots, not the group ones. And I think the lighting is amazing. The field of view that you put in, the like distance blurring and whatnot, so good. I think just in general they look like they're straight out of like the GTA world, right? And I've always been a big advocate of saying like Nopixel exists as a world within the GTA universe where all of us play over the top characters who could exist as like part of that story, part of the Rockstar story of GTA. And so to see like pictures of racers and whatnot, and you've got like the lighting on their cars and like they're leaning up against it, and like it seems so high quality and like high class. I think that those are my favorite for that specific reason. I think you did really well.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I loved getting a little bit more close-up personal shots. So the gang group shots, I mean, you can only work that so much, right? You kind of try not to do that 2-dimensional, just flat shot, but still capture it. But yeah, when you can really get the emotion of what people, and I think that was a part of the fun part of it was like I made everybody pick their location. Like you pick the clothes, you pick where, you pick what you want.
You tell me who you are, right?
Yes, and then I just pull up and just capture it. Boom. And so it's kind of cool. It really does. That's I think why it makes And everybody can really notice that because we're all play together. We all see each other. Like when you see them in that light captured that way, you're like, oh, dude, that's totally Babis. Or like, oh, that's 100%, the Cubans, standing there, stuff like that. Like it was a really fucking cool project. I would love to do it again. Honestly, the adventure was so cool. The Littleman's photo shoot was so much fun.
And the escape too.
And the escape.
That was like you getting involved with that was really cool.
Yeah, so they had basically did the death roll, right? Is the game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the plan was to get some people and get them up on a crane and make them play the game, and we that was the photo shoot, and then it ended up going south when we're getting the hostages in Cafe.
Man, warrants, I think. I can't remember.
I did. Yeah, I ended up serving it. But yeah, cops were there. That was the best part. I loved it. They're like all standing there with guns drawn, holding it on the Littlemans. But they're letting the camera guy just run around and being like, hey, watch out for my lights, like, hey, walk around. And they're like, oh, sorry. And they're like, still getting so good.
Yeah, very much a Littleman situation. It's good.
It was
very on par.
So good.
I was so ready for like you to shoot or stab the loser, and we're all just getting mag dumped. I'm like, this is how the photo's gonna end, but at least I got it, like. But we let them live. I thought that was also pretty cool.
Well, we're not, we value our lives, okay.
Right. Oh man.
If I had to pick a favorite, I'd say the Gary Roach one was pretty cool.
Oh, that was so cool.
I don't know how you timed that. That's crazy. And
what was it?
It was him knocking a guy out.
Yeah, he's swinging
in the Juice Up Gymnasium ring.
Nice.
Yeah. Mid uppercut, Kevin Ram falling back. The timing was. I'm glad you liked that one. That was such a good photo shoot.
Booba Nancy's a good one too, and another one that's good just because aesthetically is the James Arsenal and the Mila one.
Oh.
Just the backdrop is so cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame that people. I mean, like it was like people said that like, oh, that one didn't age very well, did it? Because I don't know if you know, but Mila and James and Carrie, they split up. So
wait, I thought you're talking about Gary.
Oh, Gary, yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. Specifically the Mila James one.
I don't keep up with
I mean
too much, so I don't know what's going on with that.
I don't really know the full details. I've just been told, they're not together, and I'm just like, oh, well, the picture looks great.
Were they dating IRL or just in character?
Together.
I don't know.
I never know like if people are like what they're doing.
Yeah, Blunt is abstinent in character. He's married to the money, so when it comes to the relation,
that's what John Hydra says. Anytime he wants to date, he's sorry, I'm married to my job, and I'm engaged. Well, I used to be.
You know what I do? I'm an abusive spouse until they leave me for hooker. That's what Lemon did. Married a. Anyway, moving on.
Such a goober, man.
It was that same court case Moosebeard was in with me.
The one that turned into another bench trial after that.
Oh my god, it was 5 hours.
I was in bench trials for 7 hours.
Oh my god.
Wait, you were?
Yeah. And it almost became a third because Laura Hookerblock took my MDW and then requested a third bench trial.
Oh god.
Which means Moose Brother just went into the PD chat and requested a third one and said, "This is from Moosebeard's tablet."
That's very funny.
Moose Brother's cruel. He got 3 back to back. Oh my god.
Oh no, he only got 2. I denied him the third one.
Smart. I mean, you're doing a subathon, so
it's fun. It's fun. The second one was the mind breaker though, because Bill Mays made us do it in the style of opposite day. And so all the testimony had to be given in opposite.
Oh no.
Yeah, so mine was really, really difficult because try explaining to the court in opposite day that somebody was being held up with a gun, forced to leave out the back of the courthouse, go up the stairs, run off, and then shoot. I ended up like explaining it was like he instead of she walked inside the courthouse, went down the stairs, and then walked towards me slowly. Like I'm trying to just do everything in opposite, right? That was a mind bender. Good court case though. Really, really funny.
That's great.
I love the DOJ RP. I love it.
Yeah, court cases are my favorite. I think if you're a cop and you take it like overly serious, especially when it comes to certain characters, it's like just don't go. Just don't bother.
Mm-hmm.
It's more fun to joke with that. That's why as soon as the Mike Block court case started, I started trying to get Carmine in trouble because I was like, we don't even need to we have all the evidence to prove Mike is guilty of a bunch of this kind of stuff, but I think what we really need to do is we need to ruin Carmine's relationship with Lemon. I think that's the true goal of this court case. Well, you know what I was gonna do? I was gonna play both sides for a little bit. I was gonna like wingman you, but at the same time, I was also gonna make her think that like you weren't who she should be with.
You know what the funny thing about that was? Is that it wasn't even a real relationship. It was fake. It was fake just to fuck with Peach. And then it became real for Carmine. Oh my god, she married.
Don't worry, it's probably for the best. Lemon's not gonna live much longer anyway, according to the subathon.
How close? How many subs for how many?
I think she's
subs
only like 2K off from killing Lemon. No, I think she might have already got it.
Oh my god.
So what's happening? She's
got her subathon going.
If she doesn't hit a goal, she is gonna do it.
She is gonna do it. She hits the goal.
That's funny.
Let's see. 4,000 Peach murders Lemon Chi, and she's at 4,600.
That's great.
Oh,
I love
so
it.
Lemon's a goner.
Damn.
Yeah, she's gone. That's it. Although she put in 7,000 Applebee's with Christopher Yee in Vegas. I told her 100 times. I was like, because Jenny and I are like neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, put a subathon goal in. Peach and Troms hang out, and we make HelloFresh meals.
Oh, I'd watch the fuck out of that. That's cute.
Yeah.
I know. I told her I got all the equipment for her and everything.
Yeah, you probably should not have enough viewers for her, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Well, I'm not the Cars 3 guy. I've never interviewed a porn star, so
Mm-hmm.
can I say?
Fair. Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
What are you
plus,
gonna do?
I don't know if I have the right
Christopher Yee's
equipment.
I thought he was a PC guy. I thought he was like he built PCs and shit. I thought.
Yeah,
that
but
was
like he did the interview with what was her name? Mia Khalifa or whatever from like 3 years ago.
The meme one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cars 3 meme. We'll be back in a moment.
Roger. You know what, Blunt? When we brought you on initially, first of all, thanks for coming on to sub in for us. Really appreciate the last minute join. When I asked this motherfucker, he went, "Are you sure you want me on the podcast?" And I told him to shut up and stop being a dummy. But that was because I've had a lot of interaction with him, and I know that he's a really good role player and a really good guy. But to hear about how much love you put into the city and how much goodness you sort of put with the magazine, I genuinely have never opened this magazine. I thought it was so funny to not, you know. I'm kind of sad I didn't now because I missed out. I got like 6 in my apartment or something. But it just means that I get to, with fresh eyes, sort of look at this thing and see how much care you put into it. And I think it's rare that you get gangs who really do gang shit that also care this much about the role play and about the city. What are your goals for Sesanta Nove? Santi Nova?
Santa's novels. I guess the goals are just to keep this fire burning, because I know people want to be included in the next projects. Like they really want to be a part of it. I think the one I'm doing right now, right away, is a Morph Interior magazine that I would like to get out like within a week, hopefully. Because I think that's like another thing that people don't really see. I mean, you might go into a friend's house or whatever and see like the interior and be like, "This is crazy, this is cool." But
like cataloging people's houses, like the really nice ones.
yeah, like the designers that like their work, so kind of showcase them and like what they've done, because there's been a ton of hours dumped into interior decorating in the server that people don't fully get to see. And I think that's like one thing I didn't really get to do is highlight Morph in the magazine, or even really give them an acknowledgement, which I even work for Morph. So it's like, fuck, I didn't do them justice. You know what I mean? So it's like, I want to go back and do that over and get them into their own book. And then, I mean, I feel like whatever people are willing to kind of, I've already got people just kind of calling me up like, yeah, we want to do, you know, I think BBMC wants to do a calendar photo shoot with all of their members, and God knows how creative that's going to be. I'm sure there's going to be some Speedo shots on the beach, and, you know, there's going to be some pretty fun content there for the magazine, I think. The blocks have already initiated a whole thing they want to do. So it's like, at this point, it's just kind of like, can I even keep up with what, you know, people want to help be a part of and do with this?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of going to ride for a while. Yeah, I mean, I would like to just kind of have a direction of the company that really just is one of those things. Like, we hold events, we do, you know, there's a lot of people that are passionate about the clothing and modeling and stuff, and being able to also facilitate that and really capture a lot of the musicians and showcase them. It's nice to have something that people can see. You know, everybody's so busy in their day to day, but to take a minute to look at something and be like, oh, this is more about these people that I don't really get time to spend with. And, you know, even a lot of the people that I got to meet in character that my character doesn't spend much time around them, talking to them, getting to know them, you know, whatever. Like, doing the magazine was cool because you really did. You get to sit there and shoot the shit and, you know, get to know each other more. And now it's like, oh, you're blah, blah, blah. You're Blunt, like blah, blah, blah. Like, we know each other now. Like, it's cool. Like, we can, you know, so many bridges connected in that way. And I think it's nice I found a passion in it that I didn't really know I was really like that good at, or I guess that I didn't realize I had a talent for or an eye for. And if I can keep that going and turn that and evolve that, and because I've never done some of this Adobe work to learn how to actually lay out the magazine format, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody kind of helped teach me that. And now I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Like, I want to do more of that. Like, now I want to do a little bit more of the actual graphic post edit, you know, color touch ups, saturations, all that shit. I didn't think I had it in me to, you know, do that. But now I'm like, oh, this is so cool. This is so much fun. I want to do more of this. I'm actually really working towards getting kind of like the spectator drone camera that some of the people in the server have. Because then you have free reign to do all different kinds of angles and shots and really capture stuff in a way that you can't really do too well with the character model and movement. I mean, stand up on a truck, lay down, you know, there's only so many different things you can really do to get certain angles that really do a good job at capturing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I'm really trying to shoot for, so that hopefully the future projects, it just keeps elevating. If I can just keep that kind of getting more and more, you know, production value out of it, and people are also so receptive of it, I think that, I mean, the sky's the limit. There's really, you know, magazines are really just a part of it too. It's not even all of it, you know, like I said, with events and doing modeling and you know, I plan on having some other kind of entrepreneurship plans. Like, actually tonight I have a somebody called me and was like, Blunt, would you be willing to be my chauffeur limo driver to this date I'm going to ask this girl on? And I was like, yes. Like, once she says yes, like, let's meet, let's talk. And, you know, I planned out this whole experience for them. So it's going to be something that I think is like just another piece of kind of that lavish lifestyle company that can provide all these things. And it's going to be pretty exciting. I'm excited to see where that goes, how it ends up turning out. So there's so many different little directions and avenues, stuff that I've always wanted to do, but the gang stuff kind of took over that.
Mm-hmm.
It's all
As it
about
tends to
grinding
do,
it out.
right?
And it does, and I also was against it initially in a lot of ways because I feel like gang RP can kind of it almost generates kind of an isolation. You know, it's not a good look if you're like, you know, really allied or spending a lot of time with other gangs even.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's like a kind of a no-no. You don't want to be accused of like hand holding, stuff like that. Allies, alliances, whatever. And when you're doing gang shit too, you know, on that level, like you don't want cops to really know about you. You don't want them to know what you look like with your mask on and off. Oh, what did I press?
You're good.
You know, you don't want to know them. You don't want all that stuff, all that information out there like that. So to do both simultaneously is just probably impossible. It has to be one or the other.
Mhm.
And so I think now with this direction can, you know, and still keep the underground criminal stuff going, you know, things that are, you know, nefarious in the background, but really up front and to the public, to the city, we are a legitimate business. This is, you know, there's nothing illegal. There's paperwork's all clean. All the books are good, you know, but
Mhm.
you also know like Sesanta Nova is like, yeah, they're up to some shit too.
I like that because it sort of like represents like kind of real gangs in real life. Gangs aren't just going out robbing banks every day. They
Right.
build up their community and, you know, create a funnel of money from their community. And even if they're like big mobsters, they're like starting genuine corporations that let people build careers. It's all on the backs of like the mob, basically, right?
Unions and shit.
Yeah.
And so I think you might have one of like the realest gangs in the city, man, especially if you keep going the way you're going. Like, really, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. It's hard to do. It's very hard to do. It's most people like that's when the gang app came around, people were like, well, if you're a gang, like show us. Like you have to be out here representing. You gotta have a block, you have to have a turf, you have to have a flag, you have to have a gang color, you have to have,
Mhm.
you know, it was like, fuck, this is everything that like isn't what we do, but it's also like, what do we do? You know, do we get the acknowledgement and the recognition and respect, or do we just, you know, keep in the shadows and people are like, who the fuck is Sesanta Nove? What is that? Who? When? Never heard of them, never seen them. It's like at some point you're like, you know, and a lot of members also really wanted to pursue that and have a shot at the gang app and be able to do more of that
And
stuff.
you gotta give your gang what they want too, right?
You do. So there's a lot of bend.
That's where you can have like different branches of your gang, right? You can have like the business side of the gang and then like the crime side of the gang.
Yep.
And then you as like Dub, even if you're not going out and doing the actual crime, eventually you'll have to go like shoot cops and back up your boys and like do stuff. But you can do it kind of like the way Nino did it in 2.0, right? He would only ever present himself to like a crime position when like the stakes were very high. And that suddenly for the viewers and the audience and the server, they went, oh, like he's out on the street. Like be careful, right? Oh man, I'm getting chills thinking about it.
Yeah, that's cold.
That's so good, man.
Yeah, they've done it really well. I think that's something a testament like Buddha and Nino, and you know they've really done that kind of Godfather behind the curtains, pulls the strings, makes a lot of stuff happen, and doesn't really need to get dirty.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do, like you said, yeah, like oh, this is serious. Like you're fucking with the mob, you know?
Like, oh, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. I like, dude, I love Roleplay. It's so good.
Yeah.
There's just so much good stuff that comes from it. You know, it's, I don't know. I like it a lot. It's fun. So we're getting close to the end here. We can try and wait for Trump to come back. Why don't you tell us about like a couple of moments that like really like gave you like a lot of feels in the server, whether it was exciting, funny, angry, you know, you got anything like that? You got any like big moments?
Yeah, like all like, I mean, obviously I've built a lot of relationships with people that if they're not like really here anymore or full time in it, or if they're just very sparingly coming around like that, those are like the moments that like I try to always bring to light in city to just be like, you know, oh, this one's for Uncle Marv, or like, oh, this is for, you know, our brother, like Mr. Lee, you know what I mean? Like whatever we can do to really keep their name alive and people that we've spend a lot of time with, and sometimes it's not everybody. It sucks too because I feel like it's so many of the great ones that don't keep pushing and don't keep pursuing it, and they have such a talent, such a character and name and personality to bring to the server and the community, and it's like man, those ones are tough because you want to
I
see
agree with
that.
that a lot.
Yeah.
I've noticed that too. Like a lot of the like the amazing role plays that came around in 3.0. Like when I say role plays, I mean like role play heavy. A lot of them are gone.
Mhm.
You know that then the people that usually stick around are not the ones that are good at role play. It's the ones that are good at filling crutches, like business niches, crime, mechanically good. Those are the
Yeah.
ones. Those guys stay around. But the ones that role play, especially for Nopixel, they don't usually stay long. They'll be there for like a month, 2, 3, if you're lucky, and then they'll
Yeah.
move on to something else.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, how do you tie down, that much talent, that much whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard. It's hard to keep people sitting in that. I mean, RP is amazing. It offers so much, but is it everything? There's so much more out there too. So it's like, I can understand it and I respect it, but it's, hard for the ones who really appreciate it. And we're like, come back,
You know what they could do? There is one way to make sure they stay is a fucking appeal to them, appeal the server to them. But I don't think that's gonna happen just because of the way what NoPixel is built on. It's built on a business.
Yeah.
And right now, Pogs sell a lot.
How do you guys feel like the server has been since the paid Prio's gone?
That's pretty recent, right? Though, like this, just happened, right?
Yeah, but the effects are pretty
Instantaneous.
Yeah.
What have you noticed? I don't know. I don't know if I've noticed anything too much.
It's weird because it's simultaneously felt like how do I put it? There were a lot of people who with paid Prio who were just grinding, right? And and we joked about it, like, why would you pay money to grind? Like, that's crazy. But so that's kind of good. But also there were some very good characters who we could see them as consistently as we did because they had paid Prio. So I would say it's probably a net neutral response. I haven't noticed a huge thing, but I've definitely noticed the absence of a couple of very good role players who I can't even /award because they can't even get in the server. You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird.
Can you tell me who? So if I do see them, I could do it.
Yeah. I'll make a list and we can talk about them. But there's just so many characters. So yeah, I like Cherry and Dewey Dangle. They're both like PD now, but they can't get ride-alongs to save their lives. Nobody will give these guys ride-alongs. I don't know what's going on with CPD right now. People are just not getting ride-alongs to get solo. That's crazy to me.
Davis, everyone in Davis gets ride-alongs like it's nothing, man.
Yeah.
So easy.
Something's I don't know. Something's got to give with CPD. Something's got to give.
It's because you know what it is. I feel like the department's super conflated, super big.
Mm-hmm.
It's really big, and when something gets too big, it loses its personality. You know, like if you get like 10 chefs to cook one soup, the soup's gonna come out tasting bland.
Yeah, true.
And that's what it is. Because I don't know. You've been in TPD for a long time. When it was smaller, when it was like PBSO,
Yeah.
did you say it was better?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it might come down to size. Too many people in the kitchen. Same thing with the SDSO. SDSO is amazing purely because it was small too. The LSPD used to have the problem the CPD is having now, where it had no personality, where the only thing that people knew it for was that it was, cops that were serious. That's the only personality trait it had.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to, nothing. It wasn't a department. It's just a bunch of people who had a role. And that's what CPD is going through now, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Blunt, you ever think about making a cop? I think you'd be a
I
really
got
good cop, dude. I
people-
think you'd be a very good cop. I think you're such a good role player, dude.
Thanks, man. I've had a couple people in my ear telling me you should do it, you should do it, you should do it. Maybe it's that time. Maybe I do pursue something like that.
Especially,
I've kind
and
of-
now's the best time to do it because if you can get in before any wipes happen, then you've got the PD experience, and it's a lot easier to join the next thing
True.
as PD.
That is true. I've kind of already thought of a guy that might work. So that it's brewing. It's brewing.
Okay.
To be fair, I actually don't even know really how to do it. So there's also that. There's a little bit of an obstacle there. So even
You
if
just
I were
make
to
a character and apply for a PD, and it's pretty much it. You just apply.
okay.
Especially if you know anybody that you're good friends like with as cops on your character, you can always kind of drop the cringe. I'm so and so's cousin, dude. Max Muller, Kinky Hobo, couldn't get the time of day for getting to be a cop. I literally went to Sam Bass and I was like, "Hey, so and so put in an application." He's like, "Yeah, have him talk to these people." And I was like, "Listen, I hear you." And he's like, "Hydra, I don't handle this." And I was like, "I understand. I just want you to know that is Gil Schultz's cousin, and I think his family come from corrupt cops, so I'd keep an eye on him." And he was like, "That's Gil Schultz's cousin." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And he was a cop the next day.
That's awesome.
And I know Kinky didn't want to do that because it's cringe, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes you just have to like shake people a little bit and go, "Pay attention. This is
Right.
important."
That makes sense.
And he's my friend. I'm willing to be cringy for him. That's always been
love.
my position. I'm always willing to put myself in harm's way or in cringe's way to make sure that the people that I care about get what they want. I feel like that's like my role in life sometimes, is to make sure
That's love.
that the people I care about get what they want.
Man.
And,
You're so cute.
aw.
All
right.
cutie.
All right, Troms, any final things to send off before we end here?
No, I think we covered pretty much everything I wanted to go over.
Right on. Well, all right, Blunt, thanks for coming, covering last second, dude. It was really
Thanks,
fun.
buddy.
We were planning on only doing a short time because I thought I was going to be busy, but the thing I did end up doing canceled, and I was like, oh, well, just for Blunt's sake, we'll call it early. But dude, this time flew by. That usually,
Yeah,
it doesn't always happen. So thanks for coming, man. Real quick, just shout out your Twitch, your Twitter, Feetfinder, OnlyFans, whatever you got.
Pretty much only Twitch at the moment, and kind of really boomer when it comes to the social medias. But that is blunt_2020 2020 420s. High school email there. And I really want to thank you guys for having me. Honestly, I can't thank you enough. Seriously, appreciate you.
How many
guys.
followers do you have on Twitch right now?
I think we are at 2,573 amazing people that have followed
Right on,
the
man.
Low Blunts channel, man.
Well, hopefully a
Yeah.
couple of the listeners go and give you a follow after this, so now that they've kind of seen all the love that you have for the server and all the work you've been putting in to sort of not only represent a gang, but like a gang that actually cares about its territory and the people in its city. And we're all lucky to have you. Thanks, man.
Well, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the love, guys. Appreciate you.
Yespixel, episode 27.